welcome to today's video. We are still looking at the LeetCode patterns by Shane Prashad. The link is in the description. If today is your first time joining us, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel, like and watch our videos. Thank you. So to today's video, the merge to sorted list algorithm. So here we are told that you are given the head of two sorted linked lists, 1 and 2, and we have to merge the lists into one sorted list. The list should be made by splicing together the nodes of the first and second list, and we have to return the head of the merged linked list. So for example, we have 1, 2, 4, and the second is 1, 3, 4. So we see that 1, 1, so 1, 1, we see 2, 3, 4, 4. So at the end of the day, this is the combination of these two lists together. So if it's empty, you return empty. If it's one is empty and one is something, we return the. Okay, so it's possible that it's empty. Okay, both list 1 and 2 are sorted in non-decreasing order. So that means if it's not decreasing, it is always going to be increased. So as you can see, 1, 2, 4 is increasing, 1, 3, 4 is increasing. It is not in a decremental, so it's an ascending order. So let's go to the board and see how we will go about this. So we are told that if we have, for example, a list 1 pointing to 2 pointing to 4, and we have another list 1 pointing to 3 pointing to 4. So what we could do is, since we are guaranteed that they are sorted, I could just be checking at both ends. So here, so like pointer 1 and pointer 2. So pointer 1 will be checking, we check which of these is smaller. So since they are the same, I can just pick, let me just pick P1. So it means we have like a head here. So it means this is 1, and then we know that this is no more, and then we are now, our P1 is here. So, and we could check again if we have P1 here and P2, which is smaller. Definitely this P2 is smaller, so we have another 1 here from this P2, and then our P2 moves here. So the same thing between 2 and 3, which is smaller, 2 is smaller, so we have 2 added here. So this is no more, and then P1 moves here. Between 3 and 4, which is smaller, is 3, so my P2 moves here. And I check between, since they are the same, I just pick any one of them. Maybe let's just say I pick this one. And so when I've gotten this one, it means since this is at its end, it's now null, because that's what P1 will now become. It means I can just go ahead and put whatever is left in P2, which is just going to be another 4, for example. And basically, I think this is all we need to do to crack this. So let's see how we can put it in code to achieve this. So because we have been told that it's possible that it's empty, so it's just best we just check if the lists are empty. So if any of them is empty, so for example, if list 1 is empty, I should just return list 2. There's no point checking. For example, here we saw that list 1 was empty, list 2 was not empty. So they just basically what we have here is just what is in list 2. And same thing here, if my list 2 is equals to null, then I just return the list 1. There's no point in checking anything there. So let's just have list node, let's call it head. So let's just have it, and then at the end of the day, definitely that's what we'll return. So what we could do here is we want to, so for example, at the beginning, we want to check which of these two will contain our head. So what we could do is we are checking, okay, so let's see. So what we want to do is we want to say while so I want a reference to my head, right? So then what I could do is let's just have current, basically the same as my head, right? Let's see if do I need a current? Let's just keep it and see, because I will need to go through it. So let's keep this like this and see. If we don't need it, we just push that up. So while my list one is not null, so both of them, we want to make sure that both lists are not empty at, because if any of them is empty, then we can't do any comparison between them. So we will have to keep checking to see that none of them is null at any point. So what we want to just do, we want to check if my list one, if the value in my list one is less than my value in my list two, definitely I know that what I'm to pick is going to be, so for example, my current will be, what will be there is now going to be my list one, and then what is going to be my, so my list one also will now be equals to, I just move the pointer on my list one basically, and else I want to just make my current, the next will be list two, and then I want to move list two, the pointer on list two basically. So I keep doing that. Okay, I keep doing that. So okay, so I need to move, so because I will have had a next, so I want to move my current now. So I want to make my current to be what is in the next, because I now have something in my current dot next because of this now. So I think this should make sense. Okay, but initially here we have current as null because the head is null. So what we could do we need to put, okay, so what I think we could do is we could check initially to see. So for example, we could just check if my list one dot val is less than list two dot val, and if that's the case, I just make head is equals to list one, and then list one will be equals to list one. I think I'm doing a lot of repetition here, so I might need to abstract this actually. So sorry, cannot be else because yeah, it's an else because it has to be one of these two. Yes, it has to be. So now list two equals to list two dot next basically. So I'm seeing a lot of repetition. You see, this is just repeating itself. So just let me remove that and just, I don't think I want to return anything, and I would just say replace. Let me just call it replace. I can't think of any reasonable name of my head. So I call this node and I call this list node. Okay, basically it's the same. Node one, or let me say list one, list two. So basically, no. So I could take all of these out, right? But that will be, so okay, I could do that. So that would make it, so let me just copy this and copy it so that I just have this. Okay, so okay, let me just make this head so that it's easier to, so what we have here now is that if my list, so it just replaces them in place since they are reference type. Okay, so I could just comment this out, and what I could call this is replace, and I say head, I say list one and list two basically, and here is basically the same thing. So what here, what I will, okay, so what here, what I have to put is replace. So what here, because what I'm replacing is current dot next. Okay, and I am going to be having, okay, so let's see, list one, yes, still list one and list two basically. Yes, so what the values I was replacing here was head, so but the values I am setting here is the next for the current. So I think this will make more sense before I delete that. Let me see. Okay, we have a possible null reference. So we are told that it's a null reference exception. So the problem is that we are replacing the value, so we need to pass it as a ref type because we're trying to replace the object itself with another. So I think that's that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Reference type and reference type. Let's see now. So okay. Oh, okay. The last. Oh, okay. So for this is that at the end of the day we want to check if our list one is equals to null. Then we want to just add our current dot next equals to list two, and else if basically I think we don't need an if, because if this is not null, one of them have to be null actually. But let me just list two is equals to null, then current dot next equals to list one. So that will just append whatever is left our current. Yeah. So let's see. Yes. So we have that. So let me just clean this up and clean this up and clean this up. So here we have, let me just take this down first. So here we are checking if any of them are null, edge case are returning the other if we have such a situation. And then here we are just basically replacing our head. It's just like an initialization to set our head with the one that is the least among the two lists, and based off of that we keep replacing. Okay, yeah, we're checking if, depending on which one is smaller, do the nation, and then we make this because of the current dot next. So I think this is looking good, so let me submit and let's see what we have here. Yes, and there we go. So that's how we can do this. This is kind of a little bit simple because it's sorted for us, so we just need to pick. We keep comparing the heads of each of them, and we are just checking if for list one, if list one said it's more than and is less than list two head, then we know it's list one. We pick, and we just keep doing that till we have picked up every items. Thank you. I hope we had a nice time on this video. I hope it was clear enough. If you have any issues, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comment section. Do like, share, and subscribe, and see you in the next video.